Welcome back to the 52 Weeks to Wealth. This is Wealth Principle number 12. Wealth Principle number 12 is a tongue twister. It is alleviate a frustration experienced by a large group of people. Alleviate a frustration experienced by a large enough group of people. And the idea behind this is the group of people that you're serving must be large enough to pay your bills. There must be enough of them in order for you to make enough profit to sleep tight at night. Hands to the camera if you think $100,000 is just a nice place to start. It's just the beginning. It's just the entry point. Hands to the camera if you know you want to make a lot more money this year and you want to do a lot less work. We all commit. All right, the outside world would say we're lazy, but in here, we're just efficient. We're looking to do things a little bit better. We're looking to improve upon the existing money system. Hands to the camera if you know the system is flawed. It is a little broken. All right, so one of the challenges is that the people who have the most money already seem to have help. And the people who have the least amount of money seem to need the most amount of help. Hands to the camera if that's true. Those people with the least amount of money need the most help. And the people who have the most amount of money already seem to have help. But there's a balance in between. And alleviating those frustrations is where money is made, where new money is made. Think about Elon Musk. Elon didn't serve the poor initially. He went and he started the Roadster, created this Roadster thing, this high-end, expensive vehicle that was, I think, sold for over $250,000. And then he shifted to a vehicle that less wealthy could buy. It was still high upper class, but then the middle class. And now he's gotten the Model S, the Model 3, which is something just about anybody can buy in the US anyway. You know, $30,000 vehicle, something just about anybody can buy in the US. And his next vehicle is a $15,000 vehicle, which is now something that the rest of the world can buy. But he didn't start that way. He had to go and alleviate a frustration of the rich, the ultra rich. He didn't even start with the rich, start with the ultra rich. Hands to the camera if you think you could serve the ultra rich, if you recognize that you could do that. Yes. But first, you got to find out what they want. First, you got to find out what is the challenge they're facing. So we're going to do an exercise. By the way, hands to the camera if you got a business that you run yourself. It's your own business. You are the boss. Yes. Excellent. Hands to the camera if you got a business where you're supporting someone else. We'll call it that. You support somebody else. They send you a salary. They take care of you. All right. Excellent. Now you're alleviating. So for everybody who's working for somebody else, just think for a moment. You're alleviating a problem, a frustration that person has. Hands to the camera if you could think of that frustration right now. If you could already think of like the problem they're suffering with that you're solving. Yes. I know my team is like, I know exactly what it is. Walter wants to do other things. And so he's got me doing these things. It's very simple. I know his frustration. For everybody who is got the frustration, hands to the camera, my entrepreneurs got a frustration right now that you know somebody else could solve. You got something in your life right now. Yeah. All right. For some of you, it's like, shit, I just want more money. That's my frustration. All right. Awesome. Write that down. We're going to use this later on. Everybody knows we use experiences. We do something every week so that we can be tactical and implement for the week ahead. The 52 Weeks to Wealth was designed so that every week we would attack one of the 52 principles. Now, these principles were discovered as I traveled through 400 different books, went all across the country, spent $130,000 on my personal development, just learning stocks, real estate, crypto, business, personal development, psychology, NLP, hypnosis. And as I went through the process, I discovered one very interesting thing. I had become more valuable, but everybody else around me, nothing had changed. Now my income started increasing. My money started going up, but all my friends and family stayed exactly the same. And I'm sure you can imagine why. I had done the traveling. I had spent the money. I had spent the time listening to the books, listening to the coaches, being hired, like hiring and talking to mentors and going out and having these physical experiences. It was the live events that changed my life. It was the books, the knowledge that was going into my head. I was getting outside of my comfort zone. I left my city. I left not just like my house, but I left my city to go and get knowledge. Hands to the camera if you recognize what had happened. I had changed, but they hadn't. And so it got me wondering, how do I get my family, how do I get my friends to start making money? To stop coming to me and being like, oh man, it must be nice. You got all that cash, must be nice. Hey, can you give me some? Because it gets a little annoying. If you give all your money away, you got no money. You got to go start over again. A little frustrating. If you teach someone how to make money, they start making money. That was the very interesting lesson that I learned from all of that experience, from making money, from becoming a millionaire, from becoming a multimillionaire, from getting to that next level, was that you had to leave the rope behind. You had to leave a ladder for the people behind you to climb. It was unethical to go forward and make all that money. By the way, everybody listening, 63 people on the call right now. If you go and get rich and you don't leave the rope behind for your family, what the are you thinking? Come on. It's your family, right? It's your friends. And if you don't go out and reach out to somebody new who's on the side of the street or who you meet at an event like the 100 Millionaire Summit, you guys meet and you don't reach out and say, hey, like I'll hook you up with that knowledge. Like, why did you get the knowledge in the first place? It wasn't just about the money, I promise you. Right? The money is going to come to you no matter what. You're hanging with me, you're hanging with this community, you got these coaches. We're going to get you the money. That's a guarantee. Hang with us long enough, right? Hang with us long. Don't go to the grave without still hanging with us, and we'll get you there. But how you get there, who you bring with you, that's your choice. That's your decision, right? How many people do you want? Do you want 5 friends who became millionaires because they hung with you? Do you want 10 friends who became millionaires because they hung with you? Do you like 100 millionaires? 100 of your friends become millionaires because they were hanging out with you long enough? Like, my mission is 3 to 5 years, but you could do it over 10. You could do it over 20. Now we got to alleviate a problem in order to make money. And it's if you're committed to solving problems, alleviating frustrations from the rich, from the ultra rich. Awesome. Who was at Be the Bank this weekend? We're doing a month event every month now. Every month I'm doing something that the community asks me to do. I'm only doing it once. I'm only doing one time a month because my time is valuable as well. I've got businesses that I'm building. I've got relationships that I'm working on. And I got personal development. I got to go to the gym still. Hands scam if you still go to the gym. All right. Awesome. So there's still things that I want to do in my personal life. But last month I did something for the community. I did an event called Be the Bank. Who was at Be the Bank? Who heard about Be the Bank? Who wishes they were at Be the Bank? All right. Awesome. So Be the Bank, that event was based on a problem the community had. I had a lot of my wealthier friends, like really wealthy friends, sitting on cash, burning a hole in their pockets, just cash sitting there. Who was it to Be the Bank and heard somebody say, man, I just got all this money sitting there and it's bothering me. Like, I just want the money moving. Who heard that? Yeah, a couple people said it. So I did that event for them. That was their challenge. And during the process, they got their problem solved. Some of our friends even bought tickets to the 100 Millionaire Summit. They bought the VIP tickets. They didn't buy the little tickets. They didn't buy back row seats. They didn't buy executive. They bought VIP, which means they're getting a whole extra day with me. That extra day was based on the challenge that I know my high net worth individuals in my community are facing. They're facing issues with their teams, with management, with prioritizing, with building their culture. And so those are not the issues that a poor person has who can only afford a $250 ticket. By the way, not judging the poor, I was there too. I had to at some point only buy $100 tickets or free tickets. I snuck into events that other people paid for. The VIP tickets are designed for people who have money, who have bigger problems. Hence the camera, if you're catching this. They've got teams now that they're managing. I can't tell you how many times one of my managers, one of my friends who owns a business has told me, like, it's so hard to hire people. It's so hard to find good people to work with. It's so hard to find motivated people. It's so hard to train them. Why doesn't anybody do the things that I'm telling them? This is so common among my friends who have employees or who have staff or have virtual assistants. Hands the camera if you're one of my VAs who I love dearly. I love you guys. Thank you, all my people. Appreciate you so much. I have the best people on my team. Do you know why? It's because I first believed that they would be better than me. I first believed they'd be smarter than me. I first believed that I would hire. I trusted my hiring manager, Corinne, that she would go out and seek out people better, smarter than me. Hands the if you know you could do that, if you can believe, if there, you know there are people smarter than you. Yes, there are. Come on. Look at my team, right? Every one of them smarter than you in something, I guarantee you. So here's what I'm going to do on Thursday, the day before the summit starts. I'm taking all of the VIPs. There's only 30 of you guys. All the VIPs are going through a training on how to hire well, how to build your management skills, how to build your leadership skills. We're going to teach you how to build a culture so that your team is smarter than you. Your team works without you. Your team builds and develops the future before you even think of it. So they're out there going faster, harder, building the business for you so it operates without you. Hands the camera if that's what you'd like. if you're somebody who's already building a team and you understand that's important. So I built that for the VIPs, alleviating a frustration experienced by a large enough group of people, by people who have money. So this is an example. This is why the summit was built. In fact, the summit solves a problem for me. I was looking to build millionaires, and no matter how many online trainings a person took, they didn't seem to connect until they were at live events. I had to go back to what was working before COVID happened. When a person gets together with another person in a live event, there's something crazy that happens, some energy that happens. They start doing things. I don't know if it's because they're walking side by side to go get lunch together, or they're sitting side by side in the room hearing the same thing, and one says, oh yeah, that me too. And the bond is just suddenly there, and it just like this electricity happens. But there's more partnerships, more accountability that happened at the 100 Millionaire Summit last year than all the other things that I did throughout the entire year. Hands to the camera if you were there and you heard somebody say they found a partner at the 100 Millionaire Summit. You heard like a deal was curious. Yeah, insanity. Of all the things I do, I discover now that the 100 Millionaire Summit is the clincher. It's the one that makes the difference. It's the one that brought everybody together and really made sure that people like we did stuff. I used to think we had to meet physically in person every single week to make those connections happen. But it turned out that a person who here has a friend that they connected with like 2 years ago, haven't seen, but they're still best friends. If you saw them tomorrow, you would like instantly pick up where you left off. Anybody have those friends? Awesome. Awesome. Same thing. When you think of the person that you met at the summit, who is like your closest person, the person that you had the most relationship with, hands to the camera. If you saw them tomorrow, you feel like you pick up right where you left off. Yeah. There's something in our psychology that when we connect on a deep enough level, it doesn't matter how many years go by, it doesn't matter how many weeks go by, that person is still that person. That person, still instantaneous connection. So I used to think it was the physical contact every week that was holding people accountable. It was not the physical contact that held people accountable. It was the mindset. It was the motivation. It was the congregation kind of like community thing, getting together and hearing a similar thought and then working on a similar project that got people moving. There's something about us, the law of reciprocity or social proof. When we see other people, we know that we're all assigned a similar task. Remember school? We all knew we were assigned a similar task. We'd go and do it aggressively. This week, we're all going to go and solve a bigger problem. We're going to look at our audience, the people that we're solving the problem for. By the way, the only person I ever like have to create something unique for is Melanie Santos, because she buys Subways. We're not talking about the Subway, you know, the fact that they're hungry. We're not changing that one, but we know they're always hungry. For you, it's the acquisitions of the Subway. So you're thinking the seller of the Subway. And for everybody else, we're probably thinking seller of a house. But for Melanie Santos, I'm talking to you, Melanie, this is the people who have the problem of the Subway itself. How do we alleviate that problem without giving them their too much extra money? We want to alleviate their problem, and they alleviate our problem if we don't want to put our money into these deals. Hence the Karen, forget that Melanie doesn't want to put her money in. She wants the money moving in something else. That's right. But she wants to acquire the deals, and she wants to acquire good staff. So how do we solve those problems? So for you real estate investors, hands to the camera, if you're a real estate investor, you know, it's the easiest way to make money. Who's new and wants to be a real estate investor because you know it's the easiest way to make money? Hell yeah, let's do that. All right, simple fact. There's one problem out there that everybody's suffering, and that is the fact that they have too much house, not enough money. They've put all their money into their house. The house went up in value. Now the house is worth more than the paycheck they got coming in. There's a big baby boom generation out there. Over 50 million people are of the baby boom age where they're like, don't need the house anymore. The kids moved out. The house is getting kind of old. I need more people taking care of me. And now they're coming to my house, whereas I could just go to assisted living and I'll be in their house. There's a lot of people who are thinking about selling off, or they want to go live with their kids, right? Their kids now have the house, and their house is just a redundancy. Makes more sense to be their children's place. So they're safer. So now there's this inventory that's got to go, but they don't trust real estate agents. You know, they're the kind of people who don't trust agents. They've been in the house, or one of their family members just died, and they're emotionally not ready to talk to anyone. Can you solve that problem? Can you alleviate that frustration? Can you alleviate the challenge that they're facing, which is the house? They kind of fall in love with it, but like they've still got a little emotional connection to it, but they want to be somewhere else. That's kind of, if you understand what I'm talking about with sellers, with these motivated sellers, like they got an issue, but most investors don't seek to solve that issue. Most investors are like, I'll pay you $100,000 less than it's worth. Does that work? Are you interested in just taking less money for the property? That's scary if you know most investors go in there thinking about the price. That's the challenge. They're not thinking about alleviating the issue. If you do this one thing, this one principle, all the principles, by the way, come back next week. It's got another important principle. But if you do this one thing, you solve the problem that everybody else in the investment community has too. They can't find the deals either. They can't find the deals. They can't connect with sellers. They don't know how to have those negotiations. And so they're missing the money. All the money that you're looking for is probably in a house right now. It's in a property. I know for me it is. any extra capital for me is sitting in, we got millions tied up in equity and properties. So all your money right now in this market is tied up in real estate, whether you own a house or not. And I'm talking to you right now. If you don't own a house, you don't own a piece of property. If you don't own any investments, all your money that you're looking for is still tied up in equity. It's tied up in a property. You've just got to do 2 steps versus 1 step. You've got to go and you've got to apply to buy the house for less than it's worth, right? Less than it's worth. And then you've got to go sell the house for what it's worth. Hence, if you grasp that the house had all the money that you wanted, you just had to manufacture, negotiate. So there's one challenge that comes up, and every time I say this to somebody, but Walter, where do I find the money to do the deal? I can't do the deal without the money. Hence, if you've ever experienced that challenge, you've had deals and you're like, you didn't close on deals. I know. I'm going to alleviate a challenge for a large enough group of people so that we can move forward and build more millionaires. In a month, this month's event will be an event that I call Get the Money. Hence, Karen, if you know, we're going to talk about Get the Money. We're talking about how to fund, how to finance, how to get the capital, how to raise money. Last month, we talked about how to apply money. Be the Bank was all about how to apply your money, how to hands off work without, like, let the money work for you, do nothing, and increase income. This month, I want to talk about getting the capital. I'm talking about, you got no money, I'm gonna get you the money. I'm gonna show you how to get the money. Hence, Karen, if you know you're gonna be at Get the Money, if this is an event that makes sense for you, hence, Karen, if you know this is an event that makes sense for a lot of people, it solves the problem. I dropped the link right now so you can take a look at the landing page. And Get the Money is designed to alleviate an issue for this community, for a community that I know is committed to building millionaires, a community that I know is committed to building their own wealth. By the way, you've heard the saying, put the mask on yourself before you put the mask on somebody else. So when you ask, how do I support you? How do I help you? How to get your mission going? Most of the time, my answer is you got to go become a millionaire. Let's start with you. Let's go get you your first million, and then we can go and help somebody else get their first million. But it starts with you. It starts with your commitment to your solving your biggest problem, right? What is your biggest challenge in your life right now? We solve that, and then we can go start solving other people's problems. So we're going to do this exercise. I want you to write down, what is your biggest challenge? What is stopping you from making $1 million this year? We ask this in our mastermind, right? Our mastermind group that we meet with every month. We ask the same question every month. What's stopping you this month from making $1 million? I want you to write down, what is your challenge? What is stopping you? Some of you may want to drop it in the chat, share with others, kind of get the juices flowing. What is stopping you from making $1 million this month? Don't think about it too much. Just first thing, this is a very emotional response. Whatever the first thing you think of, drop it in the chat or write it down. Let's see, nothing is stopping me this month from making $1 million, but myself. Okay, myself, I love that. It's a good answer. Awesome, we see you, Ken. What's up, brother? Hiring and marketing and sales. Awesome. Team, making offers, connecting with more people. Excellent. You drop all these in the chat. So anything that I see as a challenge, as a problem, guess what? I'm going to go create a course around that. I'm going to create an event around that. Hence, Cam, if that makes sense, as somebody who cares about building millionaires, if I see my millionaires having issues, I'm going to go stop those issues. I'm going to pull it out. If it's a knowledge thing, or if it's a contacts thing, I'll connect it with the people. That's how building millionaires works. It's knowledge, accountability, and it's the network. 3 things. Oh, I only need 3 things to make you richer than you are today. And Cam, if you've seen that to be true, you've seen it. And the people around you, it's like, dude, all they need, a little knowledge, not a ton of knowledge, just you got to know how to turn the screw, right? Like Doug's story, you just got to know how to turn the screw. And you just have to have the right person. It could be literally the right one person, right? We wouldn't have Alchemist Financial if it wasn't for Frank Montero. right? We wouldn't be doing loans and lending for people if it wasn't for Frank setting things up. You know, we wouldn't be ghostwriting for people if it wasn't for Jen Sullivan. Jen's pen wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Jen. Hence, camp for catching this, right? We wouldn't have Alchemist title if it wasn't for Mike Shine building out the law practice. We wouldn't have the Alchemist leads, by the way, coming soon. We're going to have a CRM where all you do is put your contact information, your list. Who's pulled a list before? You pull your list, drop it into Alchemist leads, and it's going to follow up for you. 365 days of follow-up, automated follow-up, hitting people on their text messages, hitting people in Facebook, hitting people in emails, voicemails, ringless voicemails, just dropped automatically. The CRM does it all. We wouldn't be able to do this stuff if it wasn't for Mark Duzwa coming over and saying, hey, this is what I do. Crypto, I wouldn't be able to do crypto trainings if it wasn't for Mitch Jorsky. I wouldn't be able to build speakers, trainers, influencers if it wasn't for Doug McGurk. I wouldn't have built all of you millionaires if it wasn't for Dr. Terry going in and being like, dude, you're a little broken, but I can fix you. Just a little tweaks, little screwdriver uses.
They're not broken. They just don't know it. They think they are.
That's right. So let's give all of our team a round of applause. Give all of our millionaires and multimillionaires a round of applause for all the support that they give the community, building the things that we build. I want you to write down, now that you know whatever's stopping you, what is the solution to it? What might be? Let's just pretend we know what it is. What might be the solution to it? And then let's go a little bit further. What if somebody out there also has this challenge and will be willing to pay you to solve it for them? What if somebody else has the same exact challenge you're facing that you would be willing to pay somebody for to solve? What if you solved it for them? Because in the process, you'd also learn how to solve it for yourself. In fact, building millionaires was my challenge. And so I started teaching how to build millionaires. And now that I'm teaching how to build millionaires, I see more people building more millionaires. Does that make sense? When I was buying real estate, aggressively. I wanted more real estate. It was my burning desire to have more houses. I didn't have what I wanted. I wanted all the houses. Hands down if you say all the houses. Hell yeah. You want all of them. Who here has thought at one point in your life as an investor, you said, I want to own every house in my city? Has anybody ever thought that? Don't lie to me. We've all had that. It's trickled in. We've all thought at some point, I want to own them all of them. At one point, it hit you that was possible. And that's okay. It wasn't a competitive thing. It was just an abundant spark. It was a moment of truth. You could, in theory, own all of those properties. We've all had that. So I was hungry. I was chasing property. I knew how to get the money. I knew how to get the deal. I knew how to lock them down. And it was just deal after deal after deal after deal happening for me. But it wasn't enough. I started having friends and family asking me, how do I get the deal? How do I get those properties? How do I find the money? And so I started closing. I got my real estate license. I started closing with them, started helping them close deals. And that made me more money. I was doing something that I previously didn't know how to do. I started doing it for other people. I started doing it for myself, learned it. Then I started doing it for other people. I started making a very good living. I remember my first year as an agent, I made $17,000. And I knew that was not the goal. My second year, I made $115,000. My third year, I made $250,000. My fourth year, $500,000. What had changed? I didn't give up. Most people in their life will never stick to something as long as I stuck to that. Most people, when life hits them hard, they're going to be like, you know what? Not doing the expansion thing anymore. I'm not going to own all the houses in the city. What I'm going to do is just stay in this job where I'm making $50,000 a year, and that's going to be just fine for me. And you know how I know that's what the average person does in the US anyway? Because that's the average income. And I know outside of the US, $6,000, $10,000 a year, they stopped at $6,000 to $10,000. You know how I know? Because that's the average income outside of the US. Average does that. If you want to be beyond average, you've got to keep going in the grow machine. Like I did. I kept going beyond average. I solved bigger and bigger problems. I alleviated frustrations for more and more people. It wasn't different people. I've always operated with the same type of people. I've always operated with people who want more, people who are hungry, people who are dedicated, And over time, I've dialed it down and made it even more fun. People who have a good sense of humor, people who are intensely focused on development, who are passionate, who care about other people, who are loyal, who are determined to be something. I've tightened up my requirements over the years, but in the beginning, all that mattered was they had to be motivated, they had to be determined. Hands can if you recognize that. It's okay to improve and dial in the people you want to hang out with. I didn't go with a lot of people. I just went deeper in one type of person, like one relationship, right? Our community isn't huge because I was building a large community. My community got to this size because other people were like, man, like you got to learn about this 52 weeks to wealth. It got to this size because other people were like, you got to go check out Alchemist Nation, this platform he just dropped. Like all the courses free. You didn't even charge. He's like, oh, just put them out there free. Calculators free, right? CRM, not free, but not expensive either. So all these tools, all these resources, go check it out. It was referrals, right? We look at Alchemist Nation, 800 and almost 900 people, users, 650 were referred. That's not me. That's you guys. Because I was alleviating a frustration for a core group of people. I still am. And I still focus. And as you level up, I create more situations to solve that because I just want to see what's possible. I just want to know what you're going to do. What would you do with that power? I'm very interested. What would you do with all that money? I'm very fascinated by the idea. What would you do if you were pulling in $100,000 a month? What would you do if you were pulling in $1 million a month? I just want to pull the roadblocks out. I know my answer. I keep doing this. So what are you going to do? Hands to the camera if you can get excited about alleviating these frustrations for the people in your life, right? You're looking down at the piece of paper, the things you're writing down. Hands to the camera if you can get like fascinated solving these problems for these people, right? If you know you could go deep into this and just really, the money is going to flow. Trust me, the money will flow. You may not know how to charge. I know how to charge for coaching. I always said I would never be a coach. In fact, I told Dorina this weekend before we talk about the book of the week. I told Dorina this weekend. She said, I don't want to deal with the database. And I was like, baby, the database is all that matters right now. All that matters, because I can't manage everybody anymore. All that matters is that I have 10,000 people on that database. I need to know why they invest. I need to know why they care about investing. I want to know what is their biggest problem. What's stopping them from investing? I want to know what their biggest challenge is, why they like what they're looking to accomplish. I want to know their goal. Why are they investing in the first place? So that I can go, like, if I don't know their emotion, their passion behind what they're doing, I can't serve them, right? They're not, I don't know if they got energy enough to survive, right? If I just want to do it, they're not going to make it. Because there's things that happen in this business. Millionaires, there's some things that happen on the millionaire path that suck, right? There's things you're going to have to face. There's emotions you're going to have to go through. You know, you got to think about your kids. You got to think about your future. You got to think about your family. You got to think about your community. You got to think about who you want to be and not being willing to sacrifice that in order to keep going down the path, right? You got to think about those relationships you're building or those things you want to change in the world in order to keep going, because there are times, there are frustrations, right? There are frustrations that will become that somebody else will not be alleviating for you. You're going to have to alleviate them for yourself. But once you've gone through those, it's those that sparked the idea to go create a business for somebody else. It's those really painful moments of not having, resources, or of not knowing how to do something, of being hungry when, there could have been a better solution. It's those moments that create businesses. It's those moments like Julie Bradley. That's where bookkeeping business just came out, right? Ghostwriting business just came out. That's where this coaching training business just came out. 100 Millionaire Summit was Dorina's idea. It was not my idea. I did not want to physically go and do it and put on a live event. I knew they were important, but I didn't know how impactful they were at the time. I just knew that they worked for me and I liked live events. I'm not the kind of guy who sits at a computer and like watches recorded programs. I create them for you guys because I'm lazy, because hey, I made it. But I don't sit there and watch recorded programs. I've never been that guy. I pay extra to be at the event to get access to the room. And so, if you know, that's obviously how I spent as much as I spent on my education, right? I was traveling all over the country. So I didn't know, but Dorina said, let's do a live event for the community. She said, we need one. And is it okay that some people, your spouse may be smarter than you? Hands if you recognize they may be smarter than you. right? They may have some great ideas. Take them, receive the ideas. So we did the summit and it became a life-changing event, and we solved a lot of problems last year. This year, we're going even bigger, 1,000 people in the room, because we recognize the more people in the room, the more deals and opportunities for our core community, because that's who I work for. I alleviate the challenges for the core, for each one of you, my 100, the people who show up every week. So for you guys, I'm putting 900 opportunities in the room for you. And over the next 6 months, I'm going to be preparing you so that you can leverage those opportunities. I'm going to teach you who to bring to the room so that you can leverage your friends, your contacts, and relationships you already have. But I'm also going to teach you how to mix and mingle and leverage so that you can serve greater people, make greater amounts of income. Hence the camera, if you're committed to making way more this year than you did last year, way more, double, maybe triple. I'll tell you, I have 5x my income in 1 year. I did do it. I went from 17,000 to 115. So I know it's possible for you too, especially if you're under that 20 range. But let's say double, right? The secret to doing it is in the room. The secret and how to do that, I'm going to teach throughout the next 6 months. That's my commitment to you. I'm alleviating those frustrations. Sharing your frustrations with others is going to help you alleviate their problems as well. Because once you share your problem, they're going to share their problem. Law of reciprocity. People love sharing problems. Hence, can't seen that to be true. 84 of us on the call. Just imagine if 84 of us take on one challenge that other people are afraid to deal. All right, when I did it, I went into multifamily housing. Everybody was afraid to deal with multifamily housing. I said, man, I'm a beast mode on multifamily. All my agent friends were like, oh, I can't stand dealing with multifamilies. You get the tenants. And I was like, fuck, I love tenants. They named a problem. I found a way to love it. They named an issue. They were like toilets. I was like, fucking love toilets. Bring them on. You go back and watch Fall Over Hustle. There's a picture of me taking a toilet out of a damn house because I love toilets so much. Or do it. Whatever it takes. When it came down to, like, I didn't know how to evaluate those properties. I learned how to evaluate property. I got in bigger pockets. I got obsessed with the podcast. I started reading all the books. So when I was talking to an investor, I'll be able to say exactly what the investor wanted to hear. I alleviated their problems. They're like, well, is this a good deal? I was like, well, here's the ROI. I calculated it for you, right? It's getting 200 per door. It's a 2% rule, bro. Like, how do you go wrong when the math is this good? And they would look at it and they would buy the house. And then afterwards, they'd have an issue with the property manager. They didn't, I need somebody to help me manage these properties. Cool. Here's my property manager. Here's a connection. Here's a relationship. Here's a plumber. Here's a contractor, whatever you need. Here's my insurance guy. Right? We're catching this? Alleviated the frustrations. So when they went to buy the next house, who do you think they used? They used the guy who just supported them all the way through. Right? It's the same thing with this community. 84 amazing souls, all becoming millionaires or millionaires already or multimillionaires. When they're looking for that next level, like I don't mentor everybody. I got other people that I can leverage. So when they look for that next level, something that is beyond me, I'm like, well, here's Vinny Chopra, right? You want a billionaire? I got you a billionaire. Shit, hands to the camera if you know. I solve the problems because I see the problems, right? I can't solve them without knowing. You got to go out this week and find problems. I want you to go out. I want you to sniff them out. I want you to hunt them out. I want you to seek them out, feel them out. Whatever you've got to do, look at the people in your world, in your life who have money problems, right? Like problems they're willing to pay for. I'm not talking about the broke people. I don't mean money problems. I mean people with money who got problems. And Scam, if you could do this, you got a few people with money in your life that you can think of right now. You can visualize. We know who they are. Shit, I might be one of them. So go out and find out what the people who have money, what problems they're facing, what challenges they're taking on. Because here's the thing I'll tell you. The richer the person is, the more room they're going to make for other people. The richer the person is, the more room they're willing to make for other people, the more money they're willing to spread to other people, because they know that they don't want to do the thing that you're about to go do for them. Whatever it is. In a lot of cases, it's find me that next deal or connect me with that relationship or go make a dozen phone calls or put something together, whatever it is. For me, I'm all about the website right now. So like, if you're going to message me later and be like, hey, what can I do? I don't know. Talk to Darina. She knows what's going on. Talk to Darina. She knows what's going on. She knows all the stuff. But for me, it's I want to build millionaires, right? I want to build millionaires automatically. Me and Vinny Chopra had the same conversation. He was like, dude, like automated. I want to build millionaires in an automatic manner. I want it to be automatic. I told Vinny, I said, Vinny, I'll do that for you. No problem. I'm on it. I'm saying yes. Wow, I have the fucking answer. Man, scam if you're catching this, right? I told Ron right after, I was like, bro, we got to get into this AI thing. We got to go artificial intelligence because Vinny wants automated. He wants millionaires on an automated process. Let's go get that for Vinny. And scam, if you understand, that's what we're going after, right? Build more millionaires, automate the process. I just asked my richest friends what they're looking for. I'll go build it. I don't have the answers yet, shit, but I'm hoping one of you has some of the answers. So shoot me a message. You got some plans for automating the millionaire process. Shoot me a text, shoot me an email. I'm all about hearing it. That's my focus. I don't want to complicate it for you. It's simple. It's simple. Stay in this community long enough, and somebody in here is going to inspire you in a way to make the money that you're looking for. Somebody will partner with you. Somebody will give you the idea. Somebody will give you the money. Somebody will invest in your plan. Stay in this community long enough. Be motivated, be supportive, be caring, be compassionate when somebody's having an issue. Motivate them. When somebody says the word try, crush that word. Tell them we don't try, we do. Right, Doug? There is no try, there's only do. Stay focused on the goal. Stay focused on supporting each other. Every week, we go through one of the 52 wealth principles. Every week, we come back, we dial it in. Every week, we focus. Every week, I will be presenting a new way, a new opportunity to help you get to the next level. This month, it's get the money. I'm going to teach you how to get all the money for any deal you imagine, any deal. Bring business deals, bring investment deals, bring real estate deals, bring crypto deals, you name it. I will teach you how to get the money for the deal. Hence, if you know that's a value that like there's nothing like that, right? I will adjust the training for you, the individuals who show up to the training. Next week is wealth principle 13, build a contagious culture in your business and your marketing. Next week, we're going to talk about how to, once we know what problem we solve, what problem challenge we're alleviating for our millionaires and our future millionaires, we're going to talk about how to get that contagious marketing. Hence, Cam, if you know, I won't let you go until you're rich. And then if you're rich, I'm going to hold on to you tighter. We're building 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires. Book of the week. Mike Shine is not here. He's in Arizona. He's taking one of his daughters out to college to check out a new college. So this book this week is the EMyth. Who has the book? Who has the EMyth Revisited? And Cam, if you got it. All right. One of our coaches. Dr. Terry Wager, go ahead. Share the EMyth for us.
EMyth Revisited. Michael Gerber talks about the fact that most people have trouble building their business because they end up technicians in their business and they're doing the work inside their business so much they don't have the ability to work on their business. And so he talks about three ideas of somebody in a business: the entrepreneur, who's the visionary and that is guiding and working on the business; the manager, who makes sure that all of the roles are being filled, whether it's by themselves and they're able to switch roles, or they're bringing people in to do the different roles so the business can grow the way it needs to; or the technician, who's actually the one doing the work. When we're the technician, as I said before, we end up so focused on doing the work, we can't grow the business. It's an excellent book. There's many different versions for different areas, like EMyth for lawyers, EMyth for real estate, EMyth for basketball players, whatever. You can do whatever you want inside this book if you read the different things for your specific niche, but read this one first. It's Revisited. It's the whole idea of the concept. Then you can niche down into what you're looking for. But if you want to learn how to get out of your business, this is a good place to start. The next place to really go after that is find a coach who can help you to start implementing what's being talked about in the book. That's what I got.
Let's give Dr. Terry Wager a round of applause. Excellent. So you've got your homework. You know what you're doing this week. You're seeking out to solve a problem for others. Now, don't start with the poor people. right? That could be our spiritual journey. I just want to put this reminder out there. If they don't have money, this is not the time to serve them, right? You've got to serve you first. Remember, put the mask on yourself before you put the mask on somebody else. You've got to go seek out, what problem do the rich have that eventually could solve the problem for the poor? So for us in the training company, my goal was to wipe out poverty. My goal was to wipe out the need for money across the entire planet. But first, I needed money to do that. and so I looked at the rich and I said, well, what are the rich doing that they need in order to get more money so that they could, wipe out the need for money? And the answer was knowledge. The wealthy were looking for either a little bit of knowledge, or they were looking for just a place to put their money, investments to put their money in. So I started raising capital. I started serving the rich, right? The rich wanted to be able to just make money off their money. So I started going and building businesses and building investments that the rich could just put their money into, and I could give them back more money. So I started serving the rich, and that's how I started developing and buying real estate. Was I did what the rich wanted. They wanted to put their money into my deals and me give them more money back. And scam if you're catching this. Same with the training company. I went and I served people who are already making money. And I said, hey, what's the skill you want to learn? What is it you're looking for? And then we built the automated free courses, right? The free stuff is for the books are for the people who don't have money. I built it from training people who had money, and I was able to build projects for people who don't have money. And scam if you recognize this. You got to go serve the people who have the cash, who can pay you, in order to get enough money to create something that can serve the people who don't have the money. We all have our charities, right? The 100 Millionaires, Inspired to Build 100 Millionaires, has its charity leg. I make sure that these millionaires donate a course. It's part of what we do, right? Donate a free course to Alchemist Nation. I'll put you on my podcast. It's part of the game. You donate a free course, I'll put you on the podcast. I'll give you what you want. You give me what I want. I want a little, donation to make sure that my people, my community, my tribe keep growing. Well, I'll put you on the podcast. I'll give you some celebrity, some fame, some attention, what you're looking for, right? I love giving the rich what they want. They want more attention. They want more money. They want more access to people. But can you do me a favor and write a course for me first? Just share it with my community, something, opportunity. I got Vinny Chopra just gave me like so many videos, so many opportunities. And he said, man, you can use it all. I want you to build the biggest, baddest course on Alchemist Nation. I want that to be the Vinny Chopra course. He said, I want everybody to know that Vinny built the biggest, freest course on Alchemist Nation. Make sure that the whole community knows that that big free course, the biggest one, that's Vinny Chopra's course. I was like, Vinny, what do you mean? He's like, I got all the videos. I was like, but you charge for these. He's like, yeah, but that doesn't, like, charging for them doesn't give me the free course. It doesn't give me the biggest free course on Alchemist Nation. So like, dump them in there, just load them up, all of them. And I was like, man, like, I gotta lead to a sale. People are gonna want more from you, like, once they get that. And he was like, well, what do you want? I was like, well, how about your multifamily syndication academy? How about we leave that one piece as like just one chunk that I don't grab all the free stuff out of? And he said, Walter, okay, that's good, because I worked the hardest on that one. So he's got one thing that Vinny sells from now on, and all the other stuff as we slowly load up Alchemist Nation, which is going to be, I just got to find somebody on our team who can actually take the time to go and download his videos and upload them. But once we have that established, we're going to have the biggest free course on the planet, thanks to Vinny Chopra. Let's give Vinny a round of applause. Not on the call, but he's, send him some positive energy. All from our mission of serving the wealthy and just making a small ask that they help us serve the masses. So in your business, what can you do? What can you do to build 100 millionaires? What can you do to add a little bit of a giving back, paying it forward, supporting others to the things you're already doing? There's something. I guarantee you there's something.